Welcome to the Innovative Systems Podcast, Broadband Breakdown, where we dive into real-life challenges broadband leaders are facing and help them find solutions. This is your space for innovative ideas and expert solutions. Let's get started.
Hey, Tim, thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely.
How are you doing? What's been going on in life?
Well, things are pretty busy at Garden Valley. We've been doing a lot of grant build-outs over the last 2 years, and investing in some new opportunities, and that's been keeping us pretty busy.
So you say grant build-outs. You guys are 100% fiber in your area, right?
We are, yes. We completed our fiber build-out several years ago, and then have been in Minnesota. We have the border-to-border broadband grant program, so we've been heavily utilizing that to kind of build out our borders and expand a little bit. And that's kind of coming to an end as well. We kind of are bumping up against all of our neighbors.
I always say you're landlocked, right? You got cooperatives around you, and do you go all the way up to the Canadian border almost, or?
We don't. There's one company in between us there, so we do bump up against all of our friendly neighbors. And so we are pretty much landlocked at this point once we finish our last grant, which should be this coming summer.
That is awesome. So how, we're always talking about revenue diversification and what you're doing to help continue to grow your business. If you're landlocked, what was your solution to that?
So we sat down, looked around, and thought, well, we are landlocked, and if we do want to continue to grow and have additional revenue opportunities, we better start looking, at other opportunities outside of our area. And if we are going to jump borders, we thought, well, we might as well jump borders. We didn't really realize that might be 3-4 states away.
How did you get your board onto this idea? How did you get them kind of convinced, like, hey, we are jumping out of Minnesota?
Right. So, it was a conversation, certainly over quite a bit of time. And they really just tasked me to look for other opportunities that were out there. And so it wasn't really me bringing a specific project to them. It was, they wanted me to go out and just kind of look around and see what was out there. And we happened to be contacted by a company that was in Colorado. And so we took a look at that, had a lot of conversation at the board level, and decided, let's give it a try.
Okay. So now you're operating in Minnesota and Colorado.
We are. And the Colorado is strictly a CLEC. So that is a little bit different as well. It doesn't have any support funding, any mechanisms like that. That's also a little scary.
Yeah.
And so we're doing our best to run a small CLEC, in Colorado, and it's in eastern Colorado. And so kind of on the plains, and very similar in topology to northern Minnesota. It's flat, not a lot of rocks, easy plowing.
Was that part of the plan, or did you just luck into that?
We just kind of lucked into that.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know, hey, we know how to do this well. Let's stick with it.
No, it just kind of happened that way. And it's a good sized community, about 13,000 people in one of the towns, about 4,500 in another one.
And they're a good size.
They're, for us, from an ILEC perspective in northern Minnesota, we don't serve many towns that big. And so we found a lot of opportunity there, to grow. The take rate there wasn't too high. So we saw a lot of big growth potential. It is a growing area as well as people kind of migrate out of Denver area. Yeah. So we saw a good future there with growth.
So what competition did you move into? Like, who's the LAC in the area, or what are you going up against there?
Right. So Lumen now is the ILEC there. And then in one of the biggest community, Charter Spectrum is there as well.
So you do have some cable and the legacy LAC there.
Yes.
But nothing that you guys can't handle.
That's throughout my career. That seems to be who I've always competed against in every company I've worked for. There's always seemed to be Lumen and Charter for some reason. Not sure why that is. And so, it is something that I was familiar with. And I will admit, Charter Spectrum has become a much stronger competitor over time. And so that has been something that's, we've been butting our heads up against. But
so marketing wise, are you taking your name and changing what they were called? Are you putting the Garden Valley name out there?
No, we are running them as strictly an investment opportunity.
Okay.
And so they have their own name. We did change the name, because for various reasons. But now it's Magnify Broadband.
Okay.
And so, that's the name we're running under. So we're educating people on our new name, our new look, what we can offer, things like that. And we have been, so we closed on the purchase a little less than 2 years ago. And we've really been spending that time bringing that network up to speed, making sure that, it's a rock solid network with good products and services. And Garden Valley is really there just to support them. And so, I mean, we've been doing this for 120 years. We know a little bit about what we're doing. And so we're really just giving them our expertise when they need it. Otherwise they're running on their own.
And being a rural cooperative, 120 years, you guys are platinum standard. You know what you're doing. You're not a shoestring. And I would guess when I've seen some of these fiber builders, they're trying to make it the margins are tough. They're trying to make it, like you said, no support dollars. So
right.
I'm sure you had to do some investment there to get it up to speed.
100%. I mean, that is an extremely accurate assessment. Because, I mean, anything down to, I mean, the good thing is there's all fiber in the ground. So, I mean,
at least you're not dealing with an old copper plant or something like that.
Absolutely. So we value that fiber quite a bit. But some of the other things like in the cabinets and your handholds and things like that, we're done on a shoestring budget. So we're just kind of fixing a lot of that. And now we're really ready to just start marketing the heck out of it and starting to gain those subscribers.
Are you starting to use some of your Minnesota employees to go down there and help on anything, or marketing plans, HR, all that kind of stuff?
Yep. So from a marketing side, yes, we're utilizing Garden Valley, our Minnesota people, for all of our marketing. They're very good at it. They've been doing it for a long time. I feel like I need to shout out to them for the great job that they do. So yes, we are utilizing our marketing staff, a little bit of the HR staff, a little bit of the accounting.
Yep.
They are a small shop, so there's only 11 employees there right now.
Okay.
And so, yeah, any support we can give them, we do bring that back to Minnesota.
Perfect. With 2 years into it, what didn't you know? What do you wish you would have known that you've learned over these 2 years?
That's a great question. I don't really know how to answer that. No, it's just, it has taken a bit more work than we were anticipating. I mean, there was more things to fix than we thought. We did our due diligence.
But no due diligence ever.
Right.
And it's like a interview. All right. You're not ever as good as your resume is, or you're
right.
great on that interview, but maybe the next day when you actually start showing up for work, your flaws might come out.
Right.
So.
No, and so we've been, getting through that, and it has been 2 years. It's taken a little bit longer than we thought. Also the fact that, when we went into it, we intentionally knew that we didn't want to be necessarily 100% owner, that we were looking for other investors. And so we just started that phase now of going out and looking for other investors. So if there's anybody out there interested, give me a call. I'd be happy to talk to you. And
contact information will be on the podcast later.
So we really are just, starting to approach that now and see what's out there. And, cause we're looking at this for an investment long term. If anything happens to ACAM and things like that,
of course,
we need all those additional revenue streams.
And a good partner can bring some skills and stuff that maybe you guys don't have, or different experiences.
Absolutely.
So
yep.
That would be an awesome thing to be able to find.
Absolutely.
Okay. I kind of asked, what was the struggle? What has so surprised you about what's gone well?
I'll be honest with you. They had a very small construction crew as well. And they've started to expand that area quite a bit. So they do a lot of outside construction jobs for, neighboring electric companies.
Oh, wow.
Some of the windmill companies in the area.
Yeah.
So we are doing quite a bit of boring for outside companies while, in the middle of different projects that we have, they'll go out and fill that in with.
So that's revenue source.
Absolutely.
Kind of unexpected.
Absolutely. We were not expecting that. And they had not really been doing that much before that, a little bit. But it's really has expanded. So that's been one of the bigger surprises for us.
So the board sees this as a positive. Would you be, can you see it in your future being saying, go find another?
We'd like to see how our search for an investor goes first. See, And really, we are starting to just hammer our marketing right now. We've really spent, like I said, the last 2 years kind of building things, fixing things. And so now we're doing that public launch, as we speak. So I think it's still just a touch early. And that's been one of the surprises as well, just how long things take to happen sometimes. And so, being a CEO, I like to have things move a little bit quicker than they sometimes do. But at the same, I know it's a surprise. None of us are like that, I'm sure. But I have to remember that things do take time. And we're getting there. So.
Well, and you want to make sure you do it right and don't rush.
Absolutely.
I get that.
I really don't want to stumble and, because we do, to your point earlier, in Minnesota, we're very proud of the network we built. It's the gold standard. And we're very proud of it. And we'd like to do that same thing there and do it right and show those people in those communities that there really is an alternative that, is rock solid and they can count on.
And that's huge. And you really get that chance to do it once, right? That first impression, that rebranding, getting out there, you get it one chance.
Yep.
And
it's with Spectrum and the other competition. They love to send out flyers every other minute. And so there is a lot of noise in that space. Colorado has a lot of wireless providers as well.
Especially on the plains.
Especially on the plains. And so, learning the market has been, unique as well. It is different than Minnesota in quite a few ways. But same at the same time. So.
I could see it, but I think you guys are going to do some great things.
We're trying. And to answer your question, I'll never say no. Always take a look at any opportunity. I think that does scare my board a little bit. And if they're listening to this, then they'll probably be nodding their head that I do scare them sometimes. But no, it's, my opinion is everything's worth a conversation and taking a look.
But you're hitting on a point I so agree with. Boards I've talked to and worked with, they should want you out there listening to anything and finding what you can and bringing that to add to your strategy. And the idea that you're trying to diversify revenues and bring in more revenue streams, every board should be encouraging that. And a little bit of healthy fear is okay. I used to ski a lot, and when I was younger and I could bounce back real quick, I was a much better skier. As I've gotten older, I'm not willing to take the risk as much, and my skills have dropped. Same with companies, right? If you're not willing to take that risk, you start becoming stale.
And I'll be honest, it is a big risk. Our board decided to take that risk, so I commend them for that. And no matter what happens in the future, they tried. And so, I really think that this will work out and be great in the long run for us. And so I do commend them on taking that risk.
Well, I know with the team you have built, you guys will, I'm sure, succeed.
Absolutely. And I can't brag about my staff enough. And even the Magnify staff in Colorado has been great. They're doing a lot of things with very few people. We'll support them as much as we can. But Garden Valley staff, Magnify staff are all top notch, and I'm very proud of everything they're doing.
Well, awesome story. Thank you for sharing it with me.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait to watch the success.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
That's a wrap for this episode of Broadband Breakdown. Got a problem you need advice on or a story to share? Reach out. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay connected and keep pushing for progress in rural America.